What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining me for another episode of the Death of the Asia Child. Tonight, we got to talk about what transpired between Armon Wiggins and Jason Lee yesterday. The tension between Jason Lee and Armon Wiggins, it finally came to a boil. Everything is out in the open now. Armon Wiggins, he came on with the receipts, and he was very, he was very precise and his delivery of the information. I really enjoyed the way he put his video together and was able to give a clear picture, to give us some insight of what's really going on. And I think that that was a really, really, really good show. With all things considered, he definitely kept hold to his receipts. Following his video, well, actually, at the same time when Armon Wiggins went live, Jason Lee went live as well, and he was talking about Armon talking about him. So, if you guys do not know, I'm not going to share any of their video clips or anything like that because I don't know how the copyright thing is as far as that is concerned. Um, so anyway, this particular this particular uh quote unquote beef. It stems back from some time ago, but there was tension between Armon Wiggins and Jason Lee before, and they ended up coming together, clearing the air and beginning to share space with each other, and it looked as though they were developing a genuine friendship. That's what it looked like. But I'm gonna tell you something. I seen this coming. It was certain things that I could pick up, and I could tell how Jason Lee was trying to keep Armand close to him, but he also was throwing a lot of subs at Armand Wiggins. And I'm gonna tell you, when people be throwing subs at you, if you speak on it, they try and make it seem like you crazy and you tripping, and that's exactly what Jason Lee ended up doing to Armon Wiggins. So everybody thought that Armon Wiggins and Jason Lee fell out because Armon Wiggins spoke on his thoughts and opinions of the Tiffany Lee. I mean, I'm sorry, shit. Her name might as well be Tiffany Lee. How much she be up his ass, but Tiffany Haddish, the Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears scandal. So Armon Wiggins spoke out on it. Now y'all all know that Jason Lee and Tiffany Haddish are really really cool, and Armon Wiggins had been on Jason Lee's show gagging and sitting in for him and everything, right? So Armon Wiggins speaks his speech on how he feel about the Tiffany Haddish thing. He's a YouTuber. He has a right to his opinion regardless of his association. He has a right to his opinion and he could speak on whatever it is that he would like to speak on, and he could give his honest opinion. Just because he's friends with certain people or whatever, those friendships shouldn't hinder his work. Sometimes you do have to be careful because of your association with people, but if you have friends and they have a problem with you having an opinion over something that's actually in the media and you're not actually dragging the person, you're just giving your commentary about the situation. If your friends have a problem with that, you need to watch your friends. So when Armon Wiggins spoke on it, Jason Lee goes to his platform and he ends up going on this rant. He goes on this rant talking about, and he was just subbing Armon Wiggins. If you know about everything that transpired in their relationship, everything that Jason Lee was saying was targeted towards Armon Wiggins. You got to be a damn fool to sit here and say, "Oh, it didn't have nothing to do with Armon Wiggins." He talked about Armon Wiggins down to talking about you can't sit at my table and people in pink panties and everything. And Armon Wiggins just posted a picture not too long ago of him in some pink underwear in a pool. So to give a description of some clothing and everything like that and try and make it seem like you're not subbing the person, come on, that's like some whole shit for real. But anyway, me, like everybody else, thought that the fallout was because of Tiffany Haddish and Armon Wiggins' commentary on Tiffany Haddish. Come to find out, yesterday, when Armon Wiggins came with the receipts, Armon Wiggins made it very clear that they've been having a problem, and the Tiffany Haddish thing was the catalyst to make Jason Lee come out and publicly say something about him. But yet, the way he did it in a subliminal way, right? So Armon Wiggins showed receipts on how Jason Lee was talking to him crazy, trying to son him, talking to him like he was a little boy, miscommunicating, not living up to his promises, not living up to his end of the bargain or anything like that. Trying to make it seem like he should be thanking him for where he's at. It was crazy. Y'all have to go watch Armon Wiggins' video. It was 2 hours long. And it was so much information. And I'm like, Jason Lee, the way he did Armon Wiggins is similar to how Tasha K was trying to do Storm Monroe, right? I do not like people that have resources and they try to use those resources in order to control you. Now, Armon Wiggins, he has trailblazed his own path. He has his own thing going on. He get recognition and everything. He has relationships with celebrities, but his platform is not as big as Jason Lee's platform. You know, Jason Lee, he knows more people. Jason Lee, he makes more money. So Jason Lee, in the grand scheme of things, as far as the worldview, Jason Lee is bigger than Armon Wiggins, right? But check this out. Just because somebody is bigger than you, just because they make more money than you, just because they have more resources than you, it doesn't mean that they can't hate on you. So even though Jason Lee, in the grand scheme of things, is bigger than Armon Wiggins, Jason Lee is also trying to break into, just really making a name for himself in these YouTube streets. Well, Armon Wiggins, he has solidified himself in YouTube. So Jason Lee reaching out to Armon Wiggins to get tips and tricks from him, and also telling Armon that he would do things for him, but yet he tried to make it seem like he's mentoring Armon. Y'all have a symbiotic relationship. Y'all supposed to be helping each other and scratching each other back. Just because I don't have more money than you doesn't mean that I'm not an asset to you. You're not carrying me along, and you didn't make me. And the thing is, Jason Lee has been jealous of Armon Wiggins and his position. And I'm gonna tell y'all probably be thinking I'm reaching, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a buck. Jason Lee is not jealous and not hating on Armon for what he has. He hates on Armon because of who he is. And that's the reason why people don't be understanding, how can somebody that's rich and famous and got way more money than me hate on me? Because they not you. They don't have that personality that you have. They don't have that gift of gab, that charisma, the talent that you have. And let's keep in mind, Jason Lee, knowing he don't like this dude, knowing that he's jealous of this guy, knowing that he still has low self-esteem and feel like a marginalized person. So he actually tried to bring Armon Wiggins close to him in order for him to watch him, in order for him to control him, in order for him to trick him out of his spot. That's what's the plan. The plan was to trick Armon Wiggins out of his spot, to dangle a carrot in his face, to make it seem like what Jason Lee got going on is the land of milk and honey and opportunity. And if you come over here on my side, it will open you up into a whole nother world that you don't have access to. Let me tell you the truth. We're on the internet. Like, all of us basically sharing the same space at this particular point. You one random stop away from just rubbing elbows with your favorite. So he want to bring Armon Wiggins over to his side to trick him out of his spot. Now, let me develop a relationship with you. Jason Lee is like, let me develop this relationship with you. Play like I'm helping you. but really I can't help you much as it seems. But let me play like I'm helping you, and so that you can feel grateful and you can feel like you owe me and you can feel like you have to be loyal to me, and now I can censor you and I can stop your commentary. When Jason Lee and Kanye West had that brunch, that black media brunch, I felt the way about that because I actually, it was so many different ways I felt about this, because Armon Wiggins was there, and I was happy that Armon Wiggins was able to get the picture with Kanye West, because it's Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? It's Kanye West. So Armon Wiggins was at the brunch. I didn't care for it too much because I actually felt as though Kanye West was using the brunch opportunity because of all of the stuff that he had in the media. They talking about black media now. And so it's Kanye West using this to get black media, the black bloggers and YouTubers and everything on his side, to make sure they put out better stories about him. They not just firing him up on the internet. They put out better stories for him. But it was interesting the way that Jason Lee had Armon Wiggins to tag along. So it makes it seem like, oh, this guy's really putting me into position. The one thing that kind of made me side eye the situation a little bit, and also what really and what made me side eye the situation is because the excitement from Armon Wiggins. You have to be careful with dealing with people and giving them too much praise. And it's okay to be humble. But I actually made a post one day and people thought I was tripping. I was like, a humble man is a feminine man. And they didn't understand why I said that. When you are if you're a man and you show too much humility, people try to fuck over you. You know what I'm saying? You can't, it's not to say don't be thankful and not show appreciation or whatever. But if anytime you are too humble, people feel like they can run over you, and they look to you to praise them, but yet they feel like you haven't made it yet. And so they don't actually give you your props when you do something, because you need to be humble. But while I'm telling you to be humble, bitch, you need to be praising me though, because I'm showing every display of arrogance, and that's what they do. The thing that I did not like is when Armon Wiggins went on Jason Lee's show and sat on his show and entertained us on Jason Lee's platform. I didn't like it. And I wasn't able to really put the thoughts together as to why I wasn't liking it. But I didn't like it because, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, it ain't coming. Whew. I didn't like it because that was a sure way to make or break Armon. So, y'all follow me here. Armon Wiggins and Jason Lee, they have they have different audiences. And there are a different set of people in a different class maybe that's watching Jason Lee versus those who are watching Armon Wiggins. So you put a Armon Wiggins in the front of Jason Lee's audience, it could make or break him on how he is judged. Y'all know how we be when one of our favorites are missing from a show. Like, say for instance, if we're watching TGIF, which was one of my favorite shows, and Funky Dineva is on there, right? Y'all know how we be when Funky Dineva is not there and somebody is sitting in. Y'all remember when Gary with the T sat in? Oh, we dragged Gary with the T when he sat in that first time when Funky Dineva was gone, right? So it could make or break that person because you sitting in a we are expecting we are almost expecting for you to give us the same type of energy and the same thing that we would have gotten from that person that is missing. It's the same thing with the Sherry Shepherd and the Wendy Williams thing. If you sit in someone's seats and they already have something going on and their audience expect a certain thing from them, it could make or it could break them. And I think Jason Lee is smart enough to know that. That's why I did not like that shit. So Armon Wiggins, even though it ended up working out, but Armon Wiggins sitting up there in that seat, it could have, who is this guy? We don't want to see him again. And it could have gone really, really bad with all things considered. But Armon Wiggins held his own. And it didn't work like that. And I think Jason Lee felt some type of way because it didn't work like that. And then come to find out, when Armon Wiggins dropped the receipts, it ended up being one of those things where Jason Lee had said, well, he wanted to put him in front of his audience, let him sit in on the show so the people can see what it is that he can do. So that assessment and what I felt, it was absolutely right. And all of this stuff that Jason Lee was coming up with, I want to help you. Don't nobody want to help nobody that bad for free, for nothing. Ain't nobody with a whole bunch of resources, a whole bunch of money, and you in the same lane that they're in. Everybody that is in the same space, we're in competition to an extent. And people don't mind helping, but also, no, it's say, for instance, if the help was Armon Wiggins reaching out to Jason Lee for some help, and he's like, yeah, I can help you with that. Versus Jason Lee taking it upon himself to do things, pitching Armon Wiggins to shows, pitching for, speaking on Armon Wiggins' behalf, trying to set up shows and do all of this, and ain't telling Armon Wiggins anything, and then try to throw it up in Armon Wiggins' face like, I was trying to help you do a show, and I didn't ask you to do that. So with people like Jason Lee, what they end up doing is they do all these things. They say they're doing all these things that you didn't ask them for. And then they try to use that to say, I tried to help you and put you in a position, but you hard-headed and you don't want to listen. Nobody asked you to do that. And you're only doing it because you're trying to find some type of way in order to trick me out of my spot. That's not cool at all. And I'm so glad that Armon Wiggins finally came out and said something. But then here comes Jason Lee. This gaslighting stuff that I don't like. And what I was saying about when people be subbing you, they try to make it seem like you're tripping if you come out and say something. Armon done set up there, burnt the man book up, basically done cremated this damn man. And here comes Jason Lee. Now he's the bigger person. I've been done like that before. Oh, now you're the bigger person. Now you're going to sit on the platform. Oh, I know everything that's going on. I know what's going on over there. People are going to say whatever they want to say. I never said his name. You knew you was talking about him. I never said his name. I wasn't talking about him when I was talking about the pink draws. What he's saying that's not true. That didn't happen that way. And those receipts were very clear. Ain't nobody lying on you. It ain't. Armon Wiggins did not come on his show telling a story. He didn't come on like how I'm sitting here and I'm telling y'all something that happened. And you got to take my word for it. Armon came with the receipts. He came with documentation, dates. Here go our conversation. No gaps in the middle. Here are the dates. So what are you talking about? So now you finna get on your platform, Jason Lee, and try to convince us that what we read for ourselves, that isn't true. We misinterpreting it. We're not. That's insulting to our intelligence at this point. You jealous of that man. You still feel like the big guy, and you still don't feel like now one of the cool kids. You you talk you talk so highly of yourself, and you have all this big talk because you're trying to convince yourself. You still trying to establish your confidence or whatever. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? You don't even deal with each people that can check you. Like, even the guys that you deal with is younger guys that you're paying off. So you're jealous, and you need to work on your self-esteem, and you need to work on your confidence, because that's what it is. You're just jealous of this guy. And to sit up here and try to make it seem, what pissed me off too is him sitting up here trying to make it seem like he made Armon. And that's the reason why it wasn't good for him to sit on his platform, because now he could make it seem like I was trying to give you an opportunity. Armon was Armon and doing his thing before y'all linked up and y'all became cool with each other. He was already doing his thing. So for you to sit up and try to talk as if I was trying to help you, I was trying to mentor you, to do what? To do what? I don't get it. We watching Armon anyway. Now the thing is, Armon got to get to the point where he just continued to remain consistent in his lane and what he's doing. Get to the point. Get on your lovely t-shirt. Just do it yourself. Just whatever, like that when Lovely T, she had through that event or whatever, she throwing her events. She putting her events together. You ain't gotta invite her to your shit. She'll put her own thing together. She ain't gotta sit on nobody platform. And Armon Wiggins didn't have to either. But I understand you do want to advance and you want to move up in your career, but you moving around with somebody that's not even really doing what you're doing at the level in which you're doing it. They might be doing something else. They might have more eyes on them, in another arena, but you're doing just fine where you're at. Not to say not to grow, but the rate in which you grow might be a little slower. And I don't know what the ceiling looks like for you, but it might be a little slower because you're not playing around in the mud with people. You could do your thing, do it organically, keep at the pace that you've been going, you've been growing, you've been reaching new milestones and everything. Don't be linking up with these people and they don't really mean you any good, and you knowing in the back of your mind that they don't mean you any good, and you think that just maybe you could just be cool, and these people have some type of humanity about themselves or some type of moral compass for real. Them Hollywood people be different, and Jason Lee is Hollywood. They just different type of people, and they okay with running with each other and crossing each other and everything for a bag. They okay with that, but they have the means and the resources to recover from it too. I did not like that. I'm gonna tell Armon Wiggins this though. If he ever run across this, I do want to say this. You was wrong. You was wrong for your commentary about Lotto and Nicki Minaj. And I'm a little disappointed because you had someone in the background, i.e. Jason Lee, treating you the same way that Nicki Minaj was treating Lotto. Y'all having these conversations. Lotto had been having conversations with Nicki Minaj. And Nicki Minaj coming online and she's intertwining situations, putting it together so it could make it seem as though Lotto could be tripping when Lotto say something. And even though Nicki Minaj's sentiments was right about, hey, if if I'm a rapper and other songs that sound similar to mine are in these categories, don't push mine into a different category, because she could have had that conversation without bringing up Lotto. And it was something interesting that Jason Lee said in his live. He said, I know how to do things to make people talk about me. And that gives me more recognition or whatever. So it's like, let me keep on subbing and poking the bear, and eventually somebody gonna jump out there. They be prepared for that fallout. Nicki knew what she did. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, eventually somebody gonna jump out there. Eventually somebody gonna at me and it's gonna be on. Or whatever the case may be. They be knowing what they're doing. But I'm gonna tell you something. With the Jason Lee thing, Jason Lee thought that he really had Armon in a chokehold. He thought he had Armon in the chokehold to where, oh, I didn't let him rub elbows with Kanye West and all of this, and I didn't say his name. I'm finna sun you out here in these streets. I'm finna talk crazy to you. I'm finna sub you, and you bet not say nothing, because you know the resources and the connects that I have. So you better not say nothing. Jason Lee really didn't. Jason Lee could talk his ass off. He didn't think Armon Wiggins was gonna really go there with him. He did not think that, because he hadn't this whole time. So he was just cool with getting his shit off and playing with Armon Wiggins like a little boy, playing all up in his face or whatever. And Armon, like, you know what? Like Lotto said, if this is the hill that I gotta die on, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but you're not about to play with me. The same way Storm Monroe had to do Tasha K. You're not about to play with me. You cannot live peacefully with yourself continuously as an adult, knowing that you let somebody continuously play with you and bully you. No, we don't do no bullying as adults. It used to trip me out when adults be like, someone is bullying me, bullying you, and you grown and you talking about somebody bullying you. No, you stand up for yourself, and whatever comes with it. But you don't let nobody play in your face. And I'm so glad Armon Wiggins was like, no, I don't give a damn what this finna cost. You're not about to play in my face. And Jason Lee didn't think Armon was gonna jump out there. But Jason Lee is so full of himself that he actually thinks that he has something to do with the person that Armon Wiggins is, and Armon Wiggins is actually indebted to him. Jason Lee done created an illusion for himself. Jason Lee actually thinks that he is some type of gatekeeper. I don't know what you're going to do or what you can do. And I'm not going to say Jason Lee don't have any type of pull. But all at the same time, it's too much. That's just like with the Wendy Williams show. Honestly, with the Wendy Williams show, I felt like Jason Lee, that's something I actually feel like Jason Lee should have been the one hosting the Wendy Williams show. It would have been a dope show for Jason Lee to do. He's the type of person, to be honest, for something like that, in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. He has a lane, but he's still on that love and hip hop type of mentality. He still want to be messy, and he still want to be able to throw a rock and hide his hand. He still want to straddle the fence. Hopefully, this is a situation where he just start to leave stuff like that alone, because Jason Lee is necessary. He has built something for himself, and I love to see it. He is necessary. It's not like he's someone that doesn't do anything or doesn't keep the wheels turning. He has made his contribution to media. He has made his contribution. Can't take that away from him. But all of that fighting, I do not understand these people who have leverage, who have the means and have the resources, and they be so intimidated by people who are up and coming. You're not gonna be in your spot forever. And these people, you already carved out your space. You already have your lane. I watch YouTube just like everybody else. If Lovely T put out a video, if Funky Dineva put out a video, and this they put and Armon Wiggins put out a video, those are my three favorites. But if either one of them put out a video about the same thing, I'm gonna watch all three of their videos. They all gonna get a view from me. So people be trying to make it seem, people act like this market is oversaturated or something. Guess what? The one person is able to support everybody that they are into. One person, if I go watch Jason Lee's show, he gets the view for that. If I go watch Armon Wiggins, he get the view for that. It's the same one person patronizing each other's platform, and you still getting the view. So why is it any competition? Nobody that's on YouTube sit up and watch one person. So why try to gatekeep? I'm just glad. I'm gonna tell you something else that I'm glad about. All of this is perfect timing and perfect alignment. If anybody gonna work together in YouTube, it needs to be Armon Wiggins and Storm Monroe. If anybody gonna work together, it needs to be those guys. They already done fell out with each other before. They already know what the other one gonna do. They're both actually genuine people. You know, Storm Monroe was caught up in Tasha K and really probably didn't even have a real beef with Armon Wiggins, but just end up with a problem with this man due to association and having to compete due to association or whatever. They'll make a good team working together and things like that. If it's just you just want to work with somebody and you want to grow in the space that you in, grow with somebody that you ain't gotta give your tips and tricks away, and then they turn around and lie to you and make you seem like they gonna do something for you, and then they never do right on their part of the bargain, but yet you feel like you gonna give them what they want from you on the front end and you'll get yours on the back. No. The Atlantic Creole say Armon drugged Jason soul from his body. He sure did. Miyomi says, how can anyone trust Jason though? He has always shown himself to be a snake. You know, I think with that, we tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. But we got to be careful with people, especially people like Jason Lee, where they try and use your talents in order to help grow them. They see something in you, and they have more resources than you do, and they try to pull you along to help them. They make it seem like they're helping you, but really you're helping them. You got to be careful with people like that. Jason Lee is the type of personality that would work better and do better with people that have more than him. I think that's where you can get a better version of Jason Lee when he's working with people that have more than him, or he think has more than him, or financially or whatever. Because other than that, he gonna try to. He feel like you're disposable. He thinks people are disposable, and he need to get his self-esteem together. He really do need to get his self-esteem together, because I honestly, and like I said, I could be reaching, but I honestly think that Jason Lee is just jealous of that, of how Armon look. He's jealous of that man. He wants Armon life. That's what it is. And I'm glad that Armon, if Armon never would have came out and exposed anything, then Jason Lee would have kept playing in his face. Hold on. I keep having to sneeze and it won't come out. Jason Lee would have kept playing in his face. Now that Armon went ahead and came out and said something, Jason Lee, he ain't got to worry about Jason Lee no more. I want Armon to not bring him up anymore, leave the man alone, because Jason Lee is petty. You know, like even with the gagging thing, he got that. You know, him and Kaya got into it. This is Kaya's idea actually, but him and Kaya got into it, so he want to buy that, because you know she had the gag order. Now it's like, let me show you, let me buy this or buy that. So he don't play fair. If I was Armon, just leave it alone. And I think it's not going to be no more videos about it, because Armon, I could look in Armon's eyes and how he was telling the story. He didn't have a problem with Jason Lee. You could tell, and you could tell that he was hurt. And what hurts the most, and I've gone through this, what hurts the most is having a beef with somebody that you don't have a beef with. Like, I don't have a problem with you. I actually like you. But you have a problem with me, and you're not finna keep fucking with me. I don't even want to go there with you. I don't want to beef with you because I don't dislike you. But you're not finna little boy me out here. You're not finna son me in these social media streets. So now Armon, he got a beef with somebody that he don't have a beef with. Like, I don't even have a problem with you, but I gotta turn to your ass because you fucking with me. That's not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling at all. And I don't know if any of y'all have been through that. Like, you dead ass don't have a problem with a person, but for some reason they have a problem with themselves and they have a problem with you, and because they have a problem with you, they think you have a problem with them, and now they reacting to what they got going on in their head that doesn't actually exist. The whole while you think y'all cool, but yet they're attacking you. So now you gotta attack back. You have no other choice. That's not no good position to be in, but it's neither here nor there. The thing with the Armon Wiggins and Jason Lee thing, Armon was not, he didn't, let me see how I can put this. I'm sorry, I got these sniffles. He didn't base his podcast show that night off emotion. He pretty much was like, yeah, I'm hurt by this and I hate it gotta be this, but I'm gonna keep it cool and I'm gonna put out the information. I'm not just gonna go on just roasting him. I'm just going to lay the facts out there. And with laying the facts out there, that hurt more than just sitting up talking shit. But it's neither here nor there. I wish it wouldn't have even came to that, but I already knew this was gonna be what it is. That wasn't gonna last long. I think anybody with two eyes and good sense could figure that out. But when you're in the situation and dealing with the person and you somewhat know them personally, you try to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I'm proud of Armon. I'm so proud of him. And I'm glad that he just said, you know what, enough is enough. And I'm not about to let you play with me. And I have nothing but respect for him doing that. I hope Jason Lee get it together because his response is an insult to everyone's intelligence because now you finna try to make it seem like we didn't read what we read. You were bothering that man. You were throwing subs at him. You were miscommunicating with him. You were trying to treat him like a little boy. You were trying to control him. And you need to deal with that. And it ain't too late to grow. You could still grow. And this isn't gonna ruin Jason Lee. The fact that Jason Lee got blasted by Armon, it's not gonna ruin Jason Lee. We're not gonna be talking about this in the next 2 to 3 days because it's just a fallout. It's neither here nor there. Um, but it needed to be done because Armon needs to be able to move on, and Jason Lee need to quit playing with folks. So with that being said, I thank y'all so much for tuning in with me tonight. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button. Um, Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm about to tune out. Y'all have a good one.
I hope you black men were paying attention. I hope you black men were paying attention.